What's up, everybody? What's up, guys? How y'all doing? Tell us all about the night's frivolities. Okay. All right. Want to hear all about my awesome night last night? We have a winner. They can go count proof the vaccination card. What's up? Good morning, fan. The Messiah has returned. Oh. I'm in peace. I'm a very naughty boy. Somebody said I'm not the Messiah. That's correct. Matt, you are the best trader on YouTube. You really are. Well, tell me something I don't know. Thanks, just kidding. All right. So today, election is over. No more noise. No more yelling and screaming. Winner has been decided. 4 more years of Trump era trading. And I'm going to tell you something. Trump made the markets fun. I'm not going to lie. So we're excited. Bull markets are great. They're easy to trade. The money is there. The money is easier to make. Trust me. I'll walk you through all of this. Hold on. All right, we're doing a contest before we get started here. We're outside DD bands and futures. We're having a contest, okay? If you buy lead trader funding, again, here's the contest. From now on forever, use our code because we're doing a giveaway every single week. Every single week now. If you buy $250 with the evals using our link, you enter into a contest for a free lifetime. We are doing giveaways every single week now. I've approved with the lead trader funding to do eval giveaways every single Friday. Every Friday. So we'll be giving away free eval accounts every Friday. Giveaway Friday. How crazy is that? I know. I'm excited. So the new contest. I like that. Everyone in chat, say hello. We wake this morning, train the election. Say rule number 1, train the election. Don't trade the election night. I tell you guys never to do this. Now, this election was probably the most muted, non-volatile response. The VIX absolutely collapsed, which is a long time we haven't seen an election. Obama election was kind of like that. It's been a while, though. Where is my drawing tool? The VIX absolutely collapsed. Rule number 1, outside of these DD bands, we usually do not trade. We definitely do not fade. And if you hit any pivot that you're going to trade against, like liquidity maps, we will still long and play the game, but just with a smaller position. Yeah, like whenever there's big events, we're not going to do Zoom. I'm talking like big events, like elections and stuff. I'm going to pull everybody together in the same house, get everyone in the same place. Remember these days right here? The old... Here's old enough to remember this. Old DTP days. Both NASDAQ, S&P, outside of these DD bands, that is our first rule of thumb. S&P popped through monthly hedge pressure, broke through it, crashed to the yellow line, pushed through here. I mean, we're way out of balance of what we normally would be trading. VIX is underlying. We talk about the masterclass. Absolutely. VIX is just completely collapsed below triple B. The market's just great. You pray that Trump can make peace in Ukraine, Middle East, and lower your bills. You can do it. I feel like this time around, I feel like we might get a different version of Trump. The presidents, when they're not up in a possible free election, tend to behave slightly differently their second term. A little less to lose, and you can push a little harder. Let me make sure that the bodies are going crazy with all these damn posts. Are you guys? Let's go up liquidity map front and center. SPY. Let's go. Everyone smash the like button. Don't forget friends. Gapping up here. Obviously, major gap on SPY. Here's the close of previous day. Open it today. We get our liquidity maps coming in soon. Open your platform. Push this button. Oh, Black Friday sale. Here's another thing. $1,500 off a lifetime exists now. And if you subscribe to any one of our monthly packages, and leave a review between now and the 10th, we're having a drawing for 2 lifetimes. 2 lifetimes. All right, so here, super easy setup. Bull long up, open, blue open. Here's a setup here. Here's a setup here. 2 really solid entries. 585, 582 outside of DD bands. I'm going to trade it small each time. This is such a simple setup, guys. All right, let it pull back. This isn't the long from me. I'm going to let it try to pull back. All setup is good. This is good. All the stuff is going to come through looking great. So S&P looks solid there. I'm going to trade my futures there. NASDAQ even a little more solid. That's going to have support here and right there. Kind of like mirror the same thing. Half gap support on Nasdaq with resilience greater than 0. Hedge for support on Nasdaq. Open, blue, open. Here, here, here. Support from here trades up higher to next resistance. We don't have next resistance. Whatever happens today, there's no fading this. Everything is so strong and bullish. Days like this, I'm going to let it try to sell, and then I'm going to get that dip to pull it right back up. Candles like this don't sell. This is the first election we had in a while where there's like crazy volatility overnight. I tell people don't trade overnight because whatever you think you want to do, you're probably going to get it wrong. And today, the market flew up, what, 2%? Pretty much, almost, in the morning. That's insane. Super insane. All right. All right. If you use Elite Trader funding, if you buy up to 250 worth of evals, like total, right, which is like a handful of them, and you use our code, we'll give there'll be a discount. There'll be a drawing November 10th. Okay, so here's the 3 giveaways. Giveaways every Friday. Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to do. So we're just waiting. I'm just waiting for my pivots to get in. So there's really nothing to take right now. Russell pulling back. I think Russell at monthly head stretcher is a decent long from here to there. You're on time. What's good? Oh my gosh, she's on time today. Bro, listen, there was an election last night. Did you hear? Did you hear? Crazy talk. I know DD numbers just yet. I don't know. Looks like our options poll has crashed. Not really sure. So interesting. So yeah, it looks like we don't have our DD numbers today. So on the status, it looks like we pulled 70% of the data and then we stopped pulling. Sometimes crazy days like this can interrupt. Let me tell Devs this. But lo and behold, DD is going to be greater than half. There's no way it's not going to be with all the stocks gapping up like this. Those have to kind of blind run it. DD doesn't show unless we have 50% of the numbers calculated. We only have 36. So, but refresh real quick. Make sure my internet didn't blip out or anything. Usually election days, crazy days, crashes like that tend to create these kind of effects. Okay, so last. Okay, all right, one more thing. Subscribe to the channel every Friday, giving away 3 Elite Trader funding accounts. It's incredible that we got him. We got him to agree to something like that. So I'm super excited. Let me make a little thing of it. Every Friday. Gonna wait for the pullback here. Said market's nice and strong and bullish. No pullback, no fading, no, not even trading. Like one of the things is that markets like this don't even trade. Like I'm on the bull side, but outside of these bands, there's really not much we can do. As far as like trying to predict markets, what we call irrational here. Futures are way outside the bands. 58.62 is that limit on the S&P. So outside of these bands, our normal rules are to sit out. And let me tell you some stats. Okay, 4% of days close outside of those green bands. 88% close in the middle, and 8% close below. So while it's rare to close outside of these bands, we still don't fade it to here. And normally I'm more prone to long from here like that than I am to try to fade this. I never fade a bull market. On the other side of the coin, down here when it's this way, I almost always want to trade it back up into those bands, even though there's an 8% chance. Trade bull markets and bear markets a little bit differently. Okay, guys. Election's over. We're back to Trump era trading. Markets. New to trading. I've been trading since 2010, and let me tell you, markets love Republicans. We got the Senate Republican. We've got the President Republican. Say hello. The sound effects. 10,000 S&P, 3 to 5 years. Absolutely going straight up without even hesitation. The market's going to go. This, for now, ramp up at the end of the year. January will be close to 7,000. It's going to be one of the fastest accelerations we see into the front of the first year versus the front of the next year. S&P has the ability to go up 1,000 points in first quarter. Mark my words. Monthly maps show as bullish as it gets. Let me detail that for you guys in just a second. Value and long open with ETF eval. Oh yeah, might go only longs. And keeps keep going up for eternity. It's probably gonna go up to eternity, like literally to eternity. It's gonna keep going higher. All right, so here's the rules. Right, take a look at this. Okay. All right, so today we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. Here to there is a trade bull long up. One of the best trades to take in this kind of setup. I don't ever fade it. Never fade this kind of stuff. Volatility is dead. Dead in the water. Okay. Right here. So yeah, last night I went to a bar and I was gonna like make it to a drinking game. We were watching Trades by Matt stream. I was gonna stream, and then I texted Matt. I was like, "Are you gonna stream?" He's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "I'm being lazy tonight. I'm gonna like watch your stream." He's like, "Oh, I'm being lazy. I'm gonna watch someone else's stream on my stream too." I almost streamception. I thought it was gonna be really funny. So essentially, on Matt's stream, he's like, "I'm gonna watch someone else's stream." So he was watching Meet Kevin on his stream. So on that stream, Kevin was doing all the talking. They were just making a drinking game out of that stream. And I thought about streaming Matt and Kevin, like a streamception, and then making it into a drinking game. Then I was like, yeah, I'll just go to a bar and hang out. I thought that was so funny. Do some streamception there. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna be lazy. So me and IDOC went to a bar and just had a cocktail as the numbers were rolling in. Monthly hedge to here. This is always a trade. Here to here, only if res is greater than 0. There. Reject off of that. Res less than 0. Anything from here, open, blue, open. This is the trade 1A on the liquidity map. Christos, you're up 1K for the day. You have 3 days left to pass. Your fast tracks and 3,000 left to pass. Should my approach to me making 1K each day? Nope. No, it's not. Your approach is to always take the trade in front of you. Keep it like this. Okay. I've been trading with enough trading contests where there's deadlines to teach you how to make a decision. Now, again, these are evals, so I can give you as much advice in the world since it's not a real account. Can't give you advice in your real trading account, but this is paper, so you're good. Here's some advice. Okay. You take the trade that's in front of you. You will not get to choose how you make that $3,000. The market will. That's unfortunate. So, like leading up into the contest that I just did, at the end, right? I won the ETF October contest. There was like hundreds of competitors. I was in 10 days. First of all, I started like 10 days late, 9 or 10 days. So when I got into the contest, I was already in last place, and everybody had like a third of the month head start kind of. I had to catch up. So my thought was the same way. Okay, I got to make, God, the first place is like 30 grand. I got to make 30 grand in 20 days. How should I make it? 2 grand a day, 10 grand a day. So I never like think of it like that, right? Yeah, so it looks like our data has paused and now we had it come through. So just so you guys know, the calculations, we only show the DD whenever we have 50% of the calculations. That way it's a good enough number. So it looks like our data was struggling when it was pulling, but that tends to happen on election days. A lot of times you have everybody trading the market and it's crazy. The exchanges themselves lock up, which is kind of fun to know about. It's not fun to experience, but it happens. So we pull our data straight from Opera. So we have like hedge fund level data. We buy the most expensive data there is for options. Let me go post in tech support that we got the data now. So if you guys haven't checked out the Rock Scooter platform, it is a feat of genius. Engineers that put this together here built this thing. You believe we built an entire trading platform with a very, very small team. Very small team. Like a tenth the size of a company that makes platforms. Where is dang tech support? Can't even find it now. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Okay. Delete that message there. But even the data feed APIs lock up sometimes. You'll see it. Oh yeah. Okay, so to answer your question, Christos, you will trade what the market gives you. That's kind of the rule. The market will tell you what you're going to do. You have to treat it like this. Your risk management should never change, even though you need to make a certain amount. And the worst part about trading a real account is to need to make a certain account. When you're trading a real account, never have that mentality. I need to make 5 grand this month to pay my bills. It's going to make you force trades that aren't there. And so one of the main things we train you is to trade real money with money you aren't afraid to lose and don't need to make. That's like a Matt Cowart quote. So remember, if you're writing on sticky notes to place them on your monitor, this is the real trader, the only real trader on YouTube. Okay, been doing this forever, and I've always done real accounts and show my performance report, everything, win contests. Let me give you some advice about that. Never trade for money you need to make, and don't trade with money you're not afraid to lose. Which means there is no deadline or no rush to make money. And you have to take the assumption that everything in that account can go to 0 and you're still okay. This is like your state you need to start off with. So you never race to a finish line. There's no deadline. I need to make 10K to pay my bills or I'm fucked this month. If that's the state you're in, you're not ready to be a real-time trader. You need to have 6 to 12 months of bills packed away and just trade with the stuff that you need. Okay, here's hedge pressure. Let's hit it. Getting close. Getting close. Getting close. So gonna wait. The other thing is you have to trade what the market gives you. So if you have a high probability setup, hit it with the normal, lower probability, medium, smaller probability, small. One of the things that will suck for like fast tracks is on your last day, you got to make up what you don't have. So don't treat, like if you have days 1, 2, and 3, and you need to make 3K by the last day, your only time you should be thinking about that deadline is that last day. Trade the best you can here and here. Don't YOLO. This is the day you have to YOLO when you have a deadline, just like the contest. You guys remember me doing the contest, right? I was in first place leading into the last day by 3K. The only time I was really contemplating making the dumb, stupid YOLO trade was like the last day or two, right? So as you're approaching like day 3 and maybe day 2, you're going to need to hit your trades like you normally would, and day 3 is when you got to hit it hard. So if you try too hard up here, you could make a mistake and blow everything up when you didn't need to. Because tomorrow and the next day may give you the perfect trading setup, which would have made it. So you trade each day like you don't have a deadline, and then the last day, okay, I have a deadline, I got to do this. And because they go bust if you don't, that's the time you just flip the coin. Does that make sense? Don't flip the coin early because you may not need to. For me, I didn't flip the coin early. I played it on the last possible day with the coin flip. And I lost money, but I still was in first. I was in a far enough lead to still win this thing. But had I flipped the coin early, which some of the competitors did, which is mistake number 1. In game theory, you can't do that. Because luck may give you a perfect trading day, the last 2 days, the last 3 days. And you could just skate right in with no effort to the finish line. Does that make sense? You'll feel so dumb if you YOLO'd today to get to your target, to beat the deadline, and tomorrow was a perfect setup, MHP bounce kind of thing. So the longer you trade with your normal setup, the higher the probability that you'll get a good setup to make your big trade on. So never swing for the fence early, and don't say I'm going to try to make $1,000 each day. Try to make $3,000 today or tomorrow or the next day, whatever the market gives you. Try to get your deadline or your target before the deadline. So anytime there's a race, you have to make sure you don't take your coin flip bet too early. That's kind of the trick there. So if today is a really good setup, right? Trade 1A on a BLU is a really solid setup. Resilience is good. DD is good. All this stuff is good. You're outside of DD bands though. So we traded small, right? 1A small with a couple contracts. So even though it's like, ooh, I can make $3,000 to get it all done in one day. Here's the setup. Let me hit it long. We're outside of DD bands. You still got to trade it small, right? Follow your normal rules. Do the best you can with the market that's given to you. But the market typically dictates the pace at which you make money. And if you got to flip a coin to win a contest, or you got to flip a coin to beat a 15-day deadline, don't flip your coin until the very last day. That is the rule. So statistically, as each day that you trade is a probability that you get a great setup. So you don't want to blow up too early. That's kind of the point there. Does that make sense? Just trade your setup. And you should get there if the market, and then now you're at the mercy of the market. You should get there if the market rolls the dice on you and gives you some good setups. But if you got to luck into the win to finish at the finish line, just do it on the last day as possible. But $3,000 is not hard at all to make. NASDAQ, shit. 2 contracts on NASDAQ. Every 10 points is $400, right? 150 points is the DD band on NASDAQ, or the risk interval on NASDAQ. So, a risk interval move is going to get you there. NASDAQ will move that much in a single day. Luck is a beach, baby. What's up? Hey, friends. Got 200 people in here. Nobody's hitting that like button. Remember, we got to help the algo out. Y'all gotta help YouTube's #1 trading stream grow even faster. We had like 50, 60 viewers at a time because most of our folks are in Zoom, and now we're at 200 viewers. It's great. Hitting it every day. Hit it faster. Punch it. So an example is today, let's do some math. You can actually calculate, okay, what can I possibly make today? 498 to 500, that is 80. This is an 80-point move in NASDAQ. Right? That's equal to $1,600, 200 every 10, right? That's $1,600 per contract. So you can get halfway to your goal just on one trade. It'll make this stream more visible. Chat much more so the chat is active. Yeah, that's right. Don't be shy. Yeah, so don't forget from now on, if you guys use Elite Trader Funding, we're going to be doing giveaways every Friday. So if you are here, the entry is going to be, we're going to announce, the way we're going to play the game is throughout the week. We're going to announce a special instruction. And then when we do our contest, you must either guess the quiz right or get the instruction right, which means you have to watch a stream all week. But every week, we're going to give away 3 Elite Trader Funding eval accounts. 3 every Friday. And every Friday, we're going to give away a rocket scooter for free. So lucky folks. We're going to do like massive giveaways. I do cash prizes, merch prizes, a lot of stuff. Giveaway Friday is a thing going forward. Giveaway Friday. So, and we're giving away tens of thousands of dollars for this Black Friday session. I missed that. I might be like, what was on my coffee cup? Like if you win and we draw your name, I'm going to ask you the quiz. You got to get it right. It's going to be easy. It's not going to be something that's super hard. You don't have to study. It'll be just like, what's that story I told on Thursday about? You got to get it right. So the newest thing is if you buy $250 worth of evals, which people do on a daily basis, we're going to give away free lifetime of rocket scooter drawing. So that's the next thing. Am I friends with Zach Morris, the Twitter guy? Zach Morris? I know of him, and we have mutual friends, but I wouldn't say we're friends. I've never met the guy. I've chat. Let me start over. I've had a couple chats with him before, in regards to like business related stuff, like Rocket Place. Like before they went on WAP, they were inquiring about joining Rocket Place for their the Discord room. So it was we had a professional chat with the guy, but as far as a personal chat, we never hung out or anything. He seemed like a nice guy. I didn't. He does live in my town, actually, now that I think about it. Or kind of lives in my town. He lives on the outskirts of my town. But he rides scooters. Yeah, I remember seeing that on Twitter. I love scooters too. IDOC, I'll tell you, like, I'm such a scooter fan. Everywhere we go, I'm always popping up a scooter, and she's always like rolling her eyes, and I'm like, it's cheaper than an Uber. Dude, I'm always scootering everywhere I go. Yeah. Doesn't he have a crypto coin, right? How's that coin doing? The Zach coin. Is it pumping? Let's check it out. All of crypto is pumping today. You know, the trial that they had was down the street from my house, like blocks away. Oh. Oh, well, you know, sometimes these types of coins don't really do so hot. Unless this is the coin. So I don't think it's rallying like Bitcoin is, but maybe it's getting a little bit of a bump today. Let's see. Got a little bit of a bump overnight from its value. Oh, wow. It did go up 50% from its value and then come right back down. That's the thing with like meme coins. They're really hard to. Good luck to them and their community, though. Good luck to them and their community and their coin and stuff. They're really hard to pick up steam and gain liquidity, though. It's like If you make it big with that. I always listen to them talk about it. I know, again, I don't buy crypto, you guys, so that's one thing I'll let you know I don't do. All right, let's grab S&P. Oh, Nasdaq is a little shy of its target. One A and S&P, there you go. Open blue open. Draw a new plan here. One thing to take note of is here to here. This is my best setup. This is the best setup right here. So if this, it's end up losing a little bit here, that's okay. The best setup is down here. Nasdaq also pivoted to the same spot. 582 back up. This right here is the money trade. So like, luckily for you today, Christos, if you're like, man, I can't wait to get my amazing trade to tap off my, you know, your fast tracks. You got two really solid bull pivots today to hit it on. That MHP, if you hit that MHP, the market might throw you a lucky dice today. That's what I'm waiting for too, so. Oh shit, there we go, S&P. What? What? Rocket scooter? Hedge pressure pivot goes right back up? What? $600? What? My oh my. I do declare. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Holy shit. So 586 to 589. That's 30 points. If I take it all the way back up to open, that's 30 points on 2 contracts. It's not bad. It's $3,000. I grabbed the same trade in 2 of my accounts. Boy, that's fun. I mean, it's pretty fucking easy. Guys, come on. This one was pretty easy. This one wasn't hard at all. This was pretty set up. It wasn't too bad. I don't know what to tell you guys. So by the way, if you want to go through our courses, first month half off. If you go and get our trading courses, it gets the platform, the tools, the Zoom calls every day, afternoon Zoom call every day, everything. All you have to do is sign up. Scroll up in chat, you'll see the link. And you're drawing on the 10th of November for Black Friday 2 free lifetime memberships. They're $4,000 a piece. So as long as you sign up for the month, it's $100. Learn all the courses. You can even cancel it. As long as you sign up one time. And then after you use it, leave an honest review. Honest review. We're giving away 2 lifetimes. Can I tell you guys a secret? Fewer than 15 people have done this. So your chances are pretty good to win the $4,000 lifetime. It's lifetime access for everything we ever do. Coaching, platform, everything. So I had 15 people sign up. We announced it yesterday. Odds are pretty good. Just saying. Black Friday sale. We're trying to make it really, really awesome. And our job here is to help you guys beat trader funding programs. Like, that's what we tell you. We work for nobody but ourselves. We don't work for the company. We don't work for anything. We promote them, but our job is to help you beat it. Here, back to open is what I'm looking for. This is just such a big, powerful move in the S&P. So, like, let me go ahead and kind of, like, make this a little better here. This is actually 40 points of move. Wow. Okay, so the volatility is still kind of there. There to there. Red's greater than 0. That move is going to be really strong. Yeah, but 90% of days will close above bull zone. And 90% of days will close above MHP. Both of those. Now, granted, we're outside of DD band, so I'm going to trade it small, right? And again, trading after the election is a little brutal. Let's see what Nasdaq's doing. Is it looking solid there? Russell? Looking solid. We'll check VIX. All right, so we'll check. VIX is still decent. Liquidity map, downward pressure in VIX, which is good. I like that. Notice the entry. All right, who's trading today? I want everybody to tell me what you're doing today. Type it in chat. I want to hear. What are you guys doing today? You're longing, you're shorting. Everyone tell me what you're doing. I want to hear. I want to hear what the community thinks we should be doing. Longing, shorting. You guys are trading all kind of different things today, huh? Market's nuts today. Dude, as much as it's bouncing around, it's just like just crazy chaotic. All right, I got the S&P sitting right here. Let's go ahead and watch Qs. Got that open bounce there on Qs, looking solid. Yeah, that volatility's nuts today. Simon took 5 micros and their hedge pressure bounce, small, long, small, long, small, long. You guys are all longing? Oh, wow. All right, boys. There you go. All right, boys. I don't disagree. I like your trade plans. I'm not disagreeing with what most of you guys are doing. Well, this just, dude, the chop here. It looks small because I'm actually zoomed in. In reality, like this is. Let's like show you what it really is. These are big moves already by itself. That's like features right here. You're bouncing 66, 714. This is a 50-point move already in NASDAQ. It's already moving that much. Jeez. All day, every day, baby. Oh, that's a beauty. Oh, it's a beauty. Oh, it's a beauty. Oh. Oh, God. Jeez. Man, I love it. I'm getting kind of the willies on this. You know what I'm going to do? Let me pocket everything because it's having a hard time finding its way back up. Go ahead and call that. And I'm gonna wait one more time on the bounce because normally you want a really solid bounce on this. A lot of times when it does fall, I will retrace just a half. QQQ still has that kind of like I'm trading small, and actually since I hit it pretty decently sized, I'm gonna pocket what I have. I'm gonna hit one more time with the bounce. Market's volatile enough for me to capitalize. Hold on 1 second. Let me take a good picture of this. Let me make a better picture of that. Should I grab the actual Market's juicy, baby. Oh yeah. Ready for the surprise? Try and do the math really quick. 5, 9, 69. Oh man, I was hoping it was a lot more than that, but here you go. What? What? Is that the math? Is that right? Did I do the math right? Hold on, 59, 69, 78, 88, 94. Dude, that's just playing that right there. I'm going to wait because remember, I only trade small and get in and get out super quick outside DD bands. I don't trade a lot. I'd love, since it's doing a lot of movement, I'm going to get my, with my 40 point stop, I'm going to get my 40 to 60 point run. I'm not going to try to hold for like hundreds of points. So I try to get my 1.5 to 1 and call it and lock it in because the volatility is pretty big. I feel like I'm going to get so many trading opportunities today to tap it pretty good. That was fun. That was really fun. Three days in a row, all green. SB, let's go. Man, I love hearing the hype, man. You guys are all super excited about. Y'all are trading very well. I have to tell you, y'all are trading extremely well today. And like in general, everybody in this stream learns how to trade. This is what I love. Y'all are following what I'm doing. Y'all are acting on your own. Everybody here did their own thing today, other days. You guys are... Thanks, Matt, for training you. Well, you're welcome. We're number one for a reason. Listen... You need to go all these other goofball streams out there. And let people know that we exist. Help us get the word out. Go to Twitter, go to whatever. Tell people, hey, you guys heard of there's something brewing over here at the Roxy stream. These guys are crushing it. Winning contests, teaching trading. Don't go over there and buy any goofballs trade rooms or courses and stuff. Look, I'll put my stats any day against any other person out there. There ain't even a close. Listen, I'd say this to be like super cocky about it. It's not even a close second place as far as talent on YouTube. Not even close. This community by far is the most talented trading community that exists on the planet. By a long shot. Everybody in our community. If there's a contest with our top 20 gets anyone else's top 20, we take all 20 slots. It won't even be close. Why'd you buy the NASDAQ since the amounts of hedge pressure? Cedric, good question. It's called a proxy trade. So when S&P bounces or gets near its own target, I will trade the S&P, but I'll also pump NASDAQ on it. So basically a proxy trade. We teach this in our courses. You guys all got to listen to them. A proxy trade. The S&P is the granddaddy of all indices. Okay. When the S&P goes up, the NASDAQ goes up. When the S&P goes down, the NASDAQ goes down, usually almost every time. Okay. The S&P and NASDAQ are like a Venn diagram where they somewhat overlap. Yeah. Both. However, the NASDAQ missing like tech and utilities and NASDAQ missing like utilities, finance, energy, things like that. The NASDAQ can move independently. So when the S&P moves, it'll yank the NASDAQ with it. But if the NASDAQ decides on its own, like the tech starts rallying, the S&P don't care. The S&P does not listen to the NASDAQ. So treat it like this. If the S&P is going to move, it's going to pull NASDAQ with it. But the NASDAQ's moving on its own pivots. I don't reverse trade the proxy S&P because the NASDAQ is only a couple of sectors. And there's parts of the NASDAQ that don't overlap. And unfortunately, it's the biggest part of the S&P that overlaps, right? So, example would be if people are selling financials and energy to buy tech, the S&P will be flat. The money rotates from one to the other. The total market cap stays relatively the same. But but Nasdaq flies up because the few sectors it has that are inside of it are now getting inflated, whereas the sectors that are getting deflated aren't being seen by the Nasdaq. So Nasdaq has a mind of its own. Does that make sense, Cedric? So when S&P's pivoting, sometimes I will trade the Nasdaq because it will move faster, dollar for dollar per investment in a futures contract. So Nasdaq is weighted appropriately so that it pays out a little better. When I'm looking for velocity or speed on a trade, I'll add some Nasdaq to it just to give some oomph. My confidence is pretty good. I'll proxy trade Nasdaq in another account. So like S&P I hit, you just saw it. The actual trade is to go right back to here. But because we are bouncing 40 points inside of this range, I'm taking little tiny bites. I'm going to let this thing move all over here and trade this all day long today. Yeah. So basically trade it like that. The S&P is going to pivot. Take the Nasdaq with it. Can all 20 eval accounts see fast track? Yeah, I think they can. Yeah, yes, says, wait, Psi 585 is that equate to in price of the NQ? So would you just put them side by side? That's probably here. Probably closer to 500, 499, some change. Just waiting, man. Man, what a chill day today. Nothing much, man. I'm waiting for my balances today to get some more trades off of this. Man, what a killer day today. Miguel, what's up, guys? All right, so let me tell you, today, giveaway Friday. We're giving away 3 Elite Trader Funding eval accounts. On November the 10th, we're giving away 2 free Rocket Scooter lifetime subscription, $4,000. That's it. To get that subscription, all you have to do is sign up for 1 month of our monthly service. That's it. 1 month. It's $100. And you get to go through all of our training. You can even cancel it. One month of our service and leave a review. About 15 people have signed up in the last 2 days since we announced it. Odds are pretty good. If we get less than 30 or 40 people, you might have a 2 or 3% chance. And we're going to do giveaways like that every single month. So there's the link. Check it out. Also, we're doing Black Friday, which is 50% off the monthly first month and $1,500 off of the lifetime membership. Access to the platform. Liquidity maps are part of what come with this. This is how I do all my trading. I don't use technical indicators anymore. I got great news because let you guys know, hedge pressure is getting beefed up, by the way, with a more rigorous calculation, and its probability has gone up even better. And that's going to be released very soon. It's already released in the test server. I've been playing with it for a month. It is fantastic. It's blue hedge pressure only, the weeklies. We have more rigorous calculation for it. While we've treated hedge pressure dynamic is a 90% chance we bounce off of orange under ideal conditions. This one was roughly 60% over the best conditions. More rigorous calculation ups the probability closer to 75. Across the board, all 3 index products gone up. We have in our Zoom calls, we detail what it is we're testing. We do the live testing for everybody. Can you pay with profit from eval account? Nice. Well, yes. No, we only accept old pirate doubloons from a treasure chest. That's it. You must give me gold coins and pieces of 8. That's the only way we take payment. Only TradingView, or is there a Ninja application liquidity maps? So, yeah, it's not TradingView. It's our own version of TradingView. So, like, we are TradingView enterprise clients. So basically, we took TradingView's charts and we built our own platform around it. So it's our own software. It's fully compatible with TradingView. So you have like all of TradingView's native indicators built into it. But it's only available on our platform, and that's because no other platform out there can handle our type of calculation of liquidity maps. So TradingView and all these other platforms as they are don't have the options data feed from Opera. So since liquidity maps are based on options, we're the only trading platform period that even has the ability to create and host liquidity maps as it is. And even more so, liquidity maps are calculated on a server and distributed to this platform. So like TradingView or NinjaTrader or any of these others aren't even powerful enough to create and do liquidity. NinjaTrader, number one, would crash trying to crunch numbers for one of them, even if it did have options data, which it doesn't. NinjaTrader is by far the most clunky, single-threaded, 15-year-old piece of software ever. It couldn't even come close to handling this. TradingView only has PineScript, and it doesn't have the options data feed as it is either. So we couldn't even feed the data to calculate it. So the thing is that we had to create a trading platform to be able to do the calculations. That's why it is like this. Yeah, you access all of our stuff through the cloud. That's the best part. So all of our indicators are actually calculated on a server and broadcast to you. We actually invented that trading platform technology. So all the indicators you see on the screen, all of them, were actually calculated in the cloud and then broadcast to you. So that way your computer doesn't lock up with all the complexities. So we actually, I invented this process and we're patenting it right now. So this is a cool, no trading platform in the world does this. So all trading platforms calculate the indicators locally. So they lock up your computer. How many stories, you guys use NinjaTrader, right? How many stories have you heard of people's like NinjaTrader locking up, trying to do calculations? Rocket Scooter doesn't lock up. It doesn't do the calculations. That's it. You log into the site, you launch the website, and this is a web application, and all of the calculations are sent to you from the server. So basically, you're just limited by your internet capabilities. What's the difference between an elite sim fund and a live account? Why is Google forcing me to change my name? So in trader funding program with elite trader funding, you have the eval account, which is just sim. Then they move you to the next stage when you pass. It's called sim to funded. It's still a sim account, but you get paid the gains once you hit the level and to get a payout. A live elite account is real money. So with elite trader funding, I'm a live elite account. I'm the top tier of their account types, and it's invite only for that. So you have to show like trading excellence, or essentially they're trusting you with their own money. So it's a higher level of risk to them. You have to prove yourself to be a trader to the caliber that they choose you for. And then they pull you up. So like if, a certain percent of the evals get funded, a very small percent of the funded go to live. Usually live is reserved for the best traders in the company's Rolodex. The infamous Thinkorswim dance. Yeah, like when you switch charts on the Thinkorswim. I love Tom Sazov. He's a genius. But Thinkorswim loads the entire chart. See, the thing is that when Thinkorswim was written, it loads like the whole time frame. If you have like a 60-day time frame, it loads up all the data and it draws it from left to right, and you experience it like doing this as it's trying to auto scale. And we call it the Thinkorswim dance. Now, if I were to write a trading platform from scratch, which we didn't write TradingView's charts, I would populate the charts from right to left and only buffer into memory what's being shown on the screen, just like a video game. In a video game, if you're inside of a dungeon, your instance inside of a dungeon, all that's buffered into memory is this. It doesn't matter what's in the water over here, the mountains over there. So what all that a trader cares on the screen is to have their charts. I would draw them right to left like that and stop, so that it's not auto scaling from left to right, dancing the charts around. And then of course I'd load everything. I'd buffer things in the memory to the left, but not to the UI. So I wouldn't buffer anything to the chart memory. I'd buffer it into like the cache, such that when I scroll to the left, it effortlessly shows onto the platform. But in hindsight, data should be populated right to left, because that's where your eyes are when you switch charts. You want to know what's now, and guess what? We do that in TradingView. So we don't get a dance. You see how? See ours? It'll auto scale, and you'll just click the auto button and it'll scale right to it. Our liquidity maps are designed to auto scale after it buffers. So this is what makes our charting even better than anyone else's. is we've kind of finagled this to when you click it, what you're looking at is front and center, and then it auto scales for you. You didn't realize the amount of effort that went into that. Your liquidity maps on our chart are designed to effortlessly display. So an example is we take this data point, this data point, this data point, this one, the high and the low of the session, and then we auto scale it X number of pixels this way and X number of pixels that way from the top and bottom of that array of data points. So that no matter what you do or what you load, your liquidity map practically looks the same everywhere. And it's the same amount of pixels this way and this way. And I designed that. So that way you can just flip between liquidity maps effortlessly and it shows up on the chart. Look how pretty that is. Apple, Amazon. Thank you. That's another invention of mine. We put a lot of thought into this, you guys. Such that you will never have to play at the scale. You just click it, there's your liquidity map. Click it, there's your liquidity map. Click it, there's your liquidity map. I bet y'all didn't even notice that. TradingView doesn't do that. We had to create a whole scaling process to do that, to override TradingView's default auto scaling. And we give you controls to turn all that off inside of here. Somewhere. Here. You can turn it off by doing that. So, yeah, we put a lot of thought into this. Redefining charting platform to make you focus on the now. That's it. Well, that's what we did on our end. If I was to design the platform from scratch, I'd have it load the candle data from right to left. So let me tell you what we do. I created this as well. Candle data is loaded a certain way. When we make a call to the API to pull in historic data and live data, it sends you two chunks of data. They send you, say, I want to load UVXY. It'll send me historic up to now. And then it opens a WebSocket that sends us data every second to add to this. So essentially, they send you all the data to now based on the time frame you asked for. And then they tick the data. So you basically get new data. And then we print the historic. And then we update the candles live. Now, what we do is we load it all into memory. And we only display from our database what you're looking at. So that there's no dance. There's no thing. Now, whenever I move to the chart, see how it loads the candles? Because we don't take up extra memory. We only load what you want to see. So let me show you the trick again. Again, I created it this way. Do it just like this. Right here, watch when I move the chart. You will see the candles not there, and then they load up. Well, if I'm on a different time frame. So let me load something that's not in cache. Let's load up Marathon. As I move to the left, it'll bring more candles in. Let me actually do something. What have we done today? NVIDIA. So there's a liquidity map. And when I move NVIDIA off the screen, see how it popped the rest of the candles on there? We did that for speed. Yeah, so essentially, it will center it just like this. So your eyes never have to move. As a matter of fact, if you look at the left and right boxes, they stay in the same place. No matter what I do, exactly here is where that box will show up. No matter what liquidity map I do, it'll show up in the same spot. Same spot. And that's to make it to where you even save a second when you're thumbing through your watch list. You never have to like fidget with this. Wait, where's the liquidity map? You can see it and go, okay, bullish. Okay, bullish at hedge pressure. You know, bullish whatever. And, oh, somehow the candle. Oh, I disconnected. But yeah, so that's basically what it does. It'll load your liquidity maps and you get it front and center. So you can just basically make your decisions pretty quick. Now for the day, Michael Benny, let's go, baby. One of the biggest lessons learned here is how not only do we redefine trading analysis, but we actually created some new complexities or some old complexities in trading platforms in general we fixed. Can I see DD bands on your platform? You click this button right here. And these are the values right here. They update every night. If you want the futures data, you need to get a futures data feed. You click on connections, connect to CQG. And if you have a broker that's compatible with CQG, then it connects to the platform in the futures data. You have to buy futures data from your broker. That's like the one thing we don't redistribute. You buy equities data from us, but you buy futures data from your broker. So I have an Edge Clear account, an AMP account. I can connect either one of them to the platform. So once you connect a futures broker and you buy your futures data from them, which is only $1 a month for top of book and $10 for the API, so about $11 a month, then that's it. And then once you do that, the DD bands will populate automatically on the chart. And then, of course, you'll get your DD bands alerts and stuff there. Yep, so let's watch SPY today. Hedge pressure incoming. Let me tell you, today, this is the trade I want to take. This one right here. Ooh. Coffee. All right, let me see something really quick. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm going to log in and Thinkorswim. We're going to do a quickie little short reel slash reel about the election. But I'm going to have to use Thinkorswim to display it. Yeah, so we have a 20 days, it's called 20 Days Profitability Mindset Masterclass. In 20 days, we will train you on how to change your mindset to what we call a profitability mindset. As a trader, your mindset has usually been, let me guess the stock market up or down. You're not treating trading like a business. You're not treating trading like there's the risk, here's the reward. We will train you to have a profitability mindset, just like I operate all of my companies that I run and own with the mindset of profitability. Every decision I make, is it profitable or not for me? We're going to train you on how to do that. 20 days. Honestly, people watch the first class, they're hooked. So join our program. It's 50% off the first month and just take all the classes. Even if you never come back, it's worth it to learn this stuff. We will teach you stuff you've never even dreamed of, like when it comes to trading analysis, I promise. Just go read the reviews on the site from actual customers. I'm serious. Read the reviews. Again, people leave honest reviews. Hold on, let me get this really quick. About their experience with the courses. All right, we're back. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Okay, here we go. So if you go here, rocket.place/Matt, it's at the bottom of the Rocket Place. You can read all the reviews. People have been leaving reviews lately. Latest users 10 days ago, 2 days ago, 12 hours ago, 6 hours ago. It tells you which product the person has purchased so that you know it's not like me paying my friends to say something. This is on Rocket Place, which will catalog that. Trade to half gap? Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I wanted to hit MHP, though, and see if it does pull back. Right, there's a second entry inside of here. Down in here. I'd love to hit this. S&P resilience is right on the edge. So that's why I'm kind of like hesitating to try to trade inside of here. I'd love to see it try to flush, and I'd trade it right back up. Because remember, on the S&P today, this is 70 points. This is an entire DD band's worth of distance, right? That's 80 points is a DD band, so that's pretty sizable. I don't want to be upside down that much. But look, again, customer testimonials not paid. These are honest reviews. We tell people leave a review, whether it's good or bad. Be honest. There's no reward for good. There's no penalty for bad. This is what people. These are the last ones. I've used Rocks here for 2 years, and again, these testimonials don't apply your results. My results don't apply your results. It's generally the only tool that's ever worked for you personally. I've been in trade rooms, signal chats, and countless signal analysis. Rocks here is the only thing that makes you feel like you have an edge. Using trading platforms, can confidently say the one stands out like no other. The tools they have and the brilliance of Matt is incredible. Learn from. It's worth every penny. Love you guys. You won't regret it. Strong fundamentals, most reliable indicators in the space, no doubt. Sort of probabilistic approach makes mathematical sense. Love it. Again, people come in and leave their own reviews. You're welcome to read them and check it out. But our courses, like I said, I'm not a big salesman, but our courses are good. I think they're really necessary as a trader to have a mindset of what we call profitability. Everything you invest in must have a foreseeable return on the investment. As a businessman, I've learned that that's the case. I make risk-based decisions all the time. I make business deals all the time. Sometimes you have to understand when you make a business deal, you've been screwed, you've been shafted, or it's just a bad deal. And recognize it quick and get out of the way before you take further losses. That's been the way with employees. That's been the way with, relationships, other things. Is always that way. You can invest in a bad thing. You got to see that it's bad and cut it before it gets worse. You hire somebody and they just sit on their butt and do nothing. And you catch on to that. You got to let them go, or else they're going to do nothing. And so these are the things you do as a trader as well. You're in a bad investment that's doing nothing for you or costing you money. You got to be able to see it. You have to be able to see the magnitude of the loss. Okay, with the employees saying you're doing nothing, and we're investing in them to be able to produce this much, and they've produced absolutely nothing, but they've sold themselves like, I'm going to do all this stuff, but they didn't produce anything, then you're not going to actually make a return on the investment financially. So then you have to make the decision. Do I believe in what they believe, like that they're going to do it, or do I believe in the bottom line, which is riskier to me? And then you make the decision. You go, well, you know what? There's a better person for the job or whatever. But you'll normally make that analysis with an employee or maybe a product you're selling, right? Like we're a burger place. We added tacos to the menu and it's not selling. I like tacos and I believe people will eat the tacos. But then it's like my customers are all burger customers. How long am I willing to invest in the taco business? The customers are proving they don't want to buy it. I have to see that and say, okay, quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, these are the losses. And this is not only that money spent on that could have been invested in the core business, which could have gained there. So is it worth the investment? And so you think about business with a profitability mindset. Why you don't think of trading that way is because you've never been trained to treat trading like a business, and we train you on that. Is we give you the probabilities of things happening, and now you can just make a statistically based bet on the market. Edward passed a static ETF account today. Let's go. Nice job. Love it. Great job, man. Hold on. My media guy is telling me to make something about the election, so let's do it. Have you guys been enjoying the shorts and the short reels and the stuff that's been made like on a daily basis? We hired somebody to do that for us. A really good video editor, kind of making it poppy, kind of making it fun. Are you guys enjoying like the little short content that comes out? I'm gonna give him some praise if you like it. I'm gonna give him some pats on the back from you guys. Okay, let me hear real quick. 2016. Oh, let me do the futures chart. I'm going to wait for that monthly edge pressure dip. I'm going to tap it really hard. All right. Yeah, we make like little tidbit shorts on a daily basis. I love it. All right. Here's why you don't trade the evening of the election. The day before the election, that's okay. The day after the election winners are announced, that's okay. Typically, the market has already priced in the victor, and the market is very rarely upset. When the market is upset, all it does is the path that it's going on, it's shifted around, and then once that is over, it gets right back on the path that's going on and keeps going. Here's the Trump election in 2016. I remember this day. As you see, right when we opened up, this particular victory was actually the upsetting case according to the odds. Trump was not expected to win by a lot of Wall Street. And so when Trump did win, what happened was the market fell all the way to the 5% circuit breaker at the time, and actually trading halted to the sell side. And then once they gobbled that back up, the market went right back to here and continued on the path like nothing had happened, right? We had been trading up, trading up, trading up. And you can actually see if you get rid of this candle, the wick, just like a normal day. All the market did was truck along and then go whoomp, and then whoomp, and keep going. This ruined people's lives and ruined trading accounts. It is just devastating to be long this market and then lose everything, maybe more than you had, and then wish, oh man, I could have been ahead, right? The Biden election kind of was the same thing. It also was an upset because Trump was expected to win, yet Biden won. And what that ended up happening was the same thing in reverse. The market flew off the handle, came right back to where it started, and then got right back on path like it didn't even happen. So when you have upsets in the statistics, the market is going to do some crazy volatility. Volatility is the amount the market V's around before it gets back on path. The volatility is absolutely the highest during the election, more so than any other trading day, because that is the biggest change in policy that you're going to see from day to day. The Fed changes policy every so often, but the change in presidency and the change in the Senate and the House, whatever, any of that stuff will likely change 4 years of trajectory. So there's a lot of people invested one way or the other, and a lot of times the market will respond very violently to an upset. Again, this happens overnight and then back to normal. And then the rest of trading days are really normal. It's not like they're volatile. It's not like they're crazy. It's like the market's collapsing because of a presidential election. It's almost never happened. It doesn't do that. The market practically doesn't care about who got elected other than a fundamental sense. If the market was bullish or they're going to be bullish, trust me, it would have been priced in bullish beforehand and get right back on path afterwards. Pre-election selling, pre-election covering, right back on path. The election happened, and it's like it didn't even happen. So you see a lot of pre-positioning, knee-jerk reacting to the upset, and the market just gets back on track. And it's always been the case. Now, when the expected thing is happening, so statistically, Trump was expected to win this time. Again, you had some pre-election selling, post-election rallying, and you're right back on track to where you were probably going to be trading. For people to think that the election's going to reverse the market or fly the market up, I have no idea what the efficient market hypothesis is, and that states that all available information is effectively priced in. Inside information, statistical information, everybody's already priced it in. So if you have priced it in, the market's just going to react before, after, and get right back on track. As this was not the upset case, Trump was statistically favored. You can see there was no crazy amount of volatility where the market flew off the handle and came back to normal. The market dived and came back right where it was doing. We were rallying yesterday, and then as the stats were coming in that it was more guaranteed that it was likely going to fulfill to fruition, the market just continued on the path it was going on, which is the path here. And if you look very closely, you can see that the market was kind of tilting up here, and it's right back on track. If we were to superimpose this little guy right here, I can make it to where it's like here. It doesn't look that bad. It looks like the election didn't even happen, and that's pretty normal. So forget the pre-election selling, the post-election catching back up. It's just a normal rally day on a normal market. Off of the close right here, rally, consolidate, dip, rip, back to here. It's back on track like this never even happened. Isn't that cool? Elections are almost always priced in, even when there is an upset. All it does is cause volatility. And if there's not an upset, it typically just fulfills its destiny quicker. So had Kamala Harris been favored to win, or had Kamala Harris won, was not favored to win, and this was what the market looked like, it would have done this and then come right back to where it was. All right, cool. You guys got it? So while this looks like a crazy day, we're really just undoing all of this and we're back to normal. So for people, I've been seeing people on social media like, the election, Trump's going to win, market's going to crash, Harris is going to win, market's going to crash. Market is not going to do anything based on the presidential election. What competition did I win? The Elite Trader Funding October Futures Trading Competition. I also, this year, hit the leaderboard in the Robbins Cup, top 5 in the world. I compete in all kind of trading competitions. So anytime they're there, I'm always going to enter them. The October Futures Face-Off, that was this. These are my stats. Yes, me. 10K to 46K and a 20-day period. Well, it was a 30-day period, but I started like 10 days late. I had close to 460% gain, 80% win rate, something like that. Chris Stoss, you waiting patiently to set up since I had 2 more days. Monday's a bank holiday. Oh, okay. Cool. Dude, I beat anybody. I don't care what other people say. On YouTube, any trader on YouTube, I will absolutely destroy in a trading contest. And I say that, and they're all my friends. I'm friends with everybody. But when we're in my house, you're in my house right now, I'm going to let you know there's nobody on YouTube. No 2 traders on YouTube put together will outperform me. That's how much I believe I'm better than everyone by a long shot. So, I'll run circles around anyone. And like I said, I love competing, and I'm very competitive, but I'm also very, very noble about it. I never trash talk people I beat when I beat them. Like clearly, I won this trading contest, and I was praising the people that were in the lead beforehand. I was never here saying, oh, this person sucks, the person sucks. I was just like, these are some good competitors. I'm actually kind of worried that I won't win this. So I'm a good sport at the end of the day. I've been trading since 2010. Full-time since 2015. I was a chemical engineer for a while. There's my degree right there behind my head. I worked for Dow Chemical as a reaction engineering specialist. I worked in reactor design and economic optimization of acrylic acid monomer heterogeneous reactor units before I took my hand in trading. Before that, I was a student at my university. I taught at University of Houston a couple of years. I've had a pretty fun life. I got a commodities trading at the time I worked at Dow because I was researching metals markets and pricing because it went into like our catalyst had metals in it. So, you know, we were very susceptible. We'd buy millions of dollars of catalyst a couple times a decade. So we were very susceptible to price fluctuations. And we had to make sure we timed our stuff at the market. And I became obsessed with financial markets at the time. Like if you guys are watching my stream in 2020, this is before prop firms. This is before any of the stuff. I've always traded a real futures account. And now since prop firms are the hot thing, I'm doing that because it's the hot thing. But normally I trade my real account on the stream. In 2020, if you were watching back then, you saw me trading 6-figure days in a real account. And I showed the stats and everything. So those are my biggest years. On stream, there was a 100K profit on stream one day, and it was shown in the real account, the balance, everything was shown. When did I get moment with the market? It took me about 5 years to really feel like I had a, you know, confidence in myself to do this full time. It took me longer than most people. I wasn't that great out the door. Hold on one second. I have to tell my guy about this timestamp here. Yeah, so like I came out the door like using technical analysis like everyone else did. You know, I was this cocky engineer, you know, one of the top of my class. Go, you know, hot shit at work. I hit the top 5 earlier in the year. Let me see where it is. But no, it only shows the top 5 and I'm not in the top 5 anymore. But when I was in the Robins early on, here, I made it to the top 5 is like the highest place I got. I can find the, oh, here it is. Like this post right here. It got almost a million views. So that's like the best I did. But like I like to compete in trading contests, but right now, everybody went way far ahead of me, and it's a very expensive contest to trade in. The problem is you do all this work all year, and you lose 25 to 40% of your profits due to the fees. So it's an expensive contest, and I only entered that contest to beat the YouTubers because they were all talking about it. Every YouTuber in the world was like, you should enter the Robins. You should enter the Robins. They were photoshopping their names on top of it. And everybody knows me. I will walk up and head-to-head, one-on-one anybody. There is no trader on YouTube that'll one-on-one against me. There's nobody that has ever stepped out to that. And I always would love to have a healthy, friendly competition for charity, just for fun. And these people that are like photoshopping themselves, I'm going to win this. Look at me, number one. They're all like, you enter. And I was like, I'm going to enter. And even Matt, Tracer Matt was like, I'll enter too, whatever. Everybody was like, I'll enter. And we both actually entered. And Matt also hit the leaderboard. But then we found out that everyone else was basically lying. All the gurus, none of them actually entered. Believe it or not. And we're paying a boatload of fees and commissions to beat people we didn't care to beat. Like I like to win a contest, but I don't want to go make 50 to 100 grand in a trading account and give up 50 to 40 grand of it to Joel Robbins. I'm up 9,600 today. I posted on my Twitter. That's today. But it was kind of sad when all the people that wanted to show up to put up, we found out weren't actually in the contest. So then I was like, well, I don't know if this is worth a whole year's worth of my time if I can't say I beat all these other people. That's my reason to do it was to say I beat everybody else that was doing it. And I just kind of lost interest in trying to fight it. The victory was just like, you know, no one else showed up for good reason. They don't want you to see that they can't do it. The most liberating part of Rock Scooter was removing all the indicators. It really was, right, Andrew? Just kind of like technical analysis just being that thing. What time of day I trade? I usually trade between 9:30, which is at market open, and usually 11. I do all my trades right around that time, and I'm usually done after that. So my system, somebody's asking, does my system have an 80% win rate? I had an 80% win rate in that contest. I personally trade 70 to 80% win rate all the time. I post the statements of the contest. I don't trade a lot. But I have a special, let me find the post. I have a special, so I don't claim, like, I don't sell a trading system, number one. I think trading systems are complete, utter magic beans. Anybody that sells a trading system is full of shit, is what they are. There's no such thing as a winning trading system. There's a winning trader, and that's it. And I have this outstanding challenge too. If you can find me a profitable trading system, I'll quit my job and let the system do all the work. This was the actual stats of the contest that I did. Month of October, 1,532 trades, 78% win rate. And that's the P&L curve. This is the entire P&L curve for this contest. Run-up drawdown ratio, 5 to 1. 80% of the trades are winners. And this is over the span of October. That was the contest. Yeah, trading systems don't have win rates. The traders do. Some of our setups have a probability from the back test. Today, under these conditions, 90% of days will close above that orange line. Also, under ideal conditions, 90% of days will close above that bull zone. So, with that being said, anything down in here is a long setup for me. Liquidity map off to the side is showing me there's upward pressure from this blue line, like so. And any breaking of the blue will fall to orange. There's your upward pressure from the blue. Any breaking of the blue will fall to orange, and then I'll long it orange every time for another 30-point scalp in the S&P. So I'm just waiting for that to take off. That probability is from our back test. And the cool thing about our back test is our own members are the ones that do it. So our members collect the data. They present the data to us, and we have the stats, and we teach you guys the stats of this. Highest probability setup is that you open and close in the same zone more often than you don't. So today, my trade was from here to here. And then my next trade will be from here to here. Which everybody here, actually, here to here. Which everybody knows is Matt's favorite trade, the BSU long. Putting map is this one right here. I'm going to wait all day for this to this. This will be even stronger with MHP right underneath it as well. That's it. So we train traders on finding statistical edge and betting correctly. That's what we train you on. But we don't sell a trading system that does work for you. The only way you're going to make it as a trader is doing your own work. We just have tools and probabilistic tools with backtest probabilities. This white indicator is a leading indicator that uses an aggregate to guess if the S&P is going to go this way through this white box or this way through this white box. If that number is greater than 0, then there's a pressure this way. Some of the stocks have gapped and they're holding their gap, and the S&P is likely to hold its gap as well. So the combination of that plus the liquidity map plus the probability of that 90% on both sides. And I have a bunch of setups to trade today. I've got all kind of pressure down in here. It's going to push the market up. So I'm just waiting to see if this market tries to flush, and I'm back in on the long. And that's a big setup because from here to here is about 50 points on the S&P and about like 200 points plus on the NASDAQ. Oh yeah, that's the trade I took, Brian. Right out the door. So essentially, I did this trade right here in NASDAQ and S&P, similar trade. My longest losing streak, like forever. Losing streaks are more like randomness, right? I'm sure I've had losing streaks of like 5-10 days in a row, probably early on. It's been a while. These days, you watch me trade on stream. I don't usually have losing streaks a lot of the time, but it's random. This year, a couple days, no more than 5. But like, I sit out a lot to avoid losing streaks. So unless I get my setup, I usually just sit out. I know, guys. What have you guys seen? What's my biggest losing streak? You see me on stream. Y'all see me trade every day. I don't remember it being that crazy, but like I said, I don't remember. Chat, do you guys have an idea? Like 3 days max. Yeah, I've had some something like that. Yeah. What's my longest winning streak? 75 trading days. And that was on YouTube. And let me show you evidence of that. I streamed every single one of those 75 days. Who here was here for that? My 75-day winning streak in 2020. Who here has been here that long that remembers those days? Let me find. I have to go back and pull the videos up. That's really far back there. Gotta keep going back. I have a lot of streams. That was a trading challenge I did. It was to take $6,700, which is half the margin requirement, and trade it. It was called the $1 Million Challenge. I was going to take it straight to $1 million. I got it right to about 95K from a 67 start. And then we stopped streaming on YouTube and went straight to Zoom because at that point I'd started developing the Rocket Scooter platform. And I didn't have all the time I had in the world to stream on YouTube anymore. So it became a full-time job to build the trading platform. So I quit streaming on YouTube at the high of the account, by the way. Oh, wait. 70 days. Oh, my memory's bad. Okay, 70 days. Here we go. It was 70 days. Why do you guys keep telling me? Yeah, it was 70 days then. Here they are. Each one of them was live streamed with the total and the balance shown all along the way. They were called 57, 58, 59, 60, 70 days. Everyday catalog. So Yeah, that's real. And so, okay, so 70 days. You guys used to tell me 75 when I used to ask that question. I guess I didn't even remember. So 70 days, which is 3.5 trading months, because there's 20 days in a month. So just to show you the video, and it's real. I'm not making it up. Got it. I know I look stupid, but I used to look more stupid back. Like goofy ass right there. Years on the journey. So this was the actual. So I posted the P&L on this. I would update this. I would update this every single day. And this was the actual history of the one account I traded. And I even put the account number on the screen so people would know that it was real. So there was like no shenanigans. Like right here, there was no trader funding programs in 2020. So you can't see that. Right here, there's the account number. And so it was a 70-day winning streak. I went from 67 to whatever the account balance is, 21,000. I just basically was like, I'm going to take a small account closer to $1 million. 70-day winning streak. 2020. And it was like, it drew such a huge crowd. It was like fully transparent. Like, I would post the P&L every single day. When it finally ended, it was right here. I was like, oh, streak finally ended. But every single day, the account would go up or I would sit out. So that was the best winning streak I ever had. 70 straight trading days. That was kind of fun. And it's not always like that. Let me just be honest with you. That's not realistic at all. As a matter of fact, after day 5, I was like, oh, I'm on a streak. That's kind of cool. And then 10 days go by and I'm like, oh, I'm still on a streak. And 15 days go by. I'm like, oh man, I am on a hot streak. And imagine 3.5 months go by without a losing day. And it's all in that account. The P&L was posted every day. So it's real. Now I got lucky. Obviously the market was pretty strong and bullish, but that was probably my best winning streak. My best trading performance in the history of like win rate and stuff was this last October competition with ETF. That was my best stats. Do I do options, stocks as well on the side? Options occasionally on the side. I make some big options plays on the side whenever I'm trading. Under certain circumstances, options are taxed more, so I'm not a big fan of like trading options unless I know I can get 1,000% gain in options. So I did post a short when I did pull an options trade, as occasional as they are, a couple times a year, I'll pop a big options trade because it's a very fast money trade. And this was an actual trade I did live on the stream. I used monthly maps, which is one of our tools to call big pivots in the market. I made $32,000 today. And that was just one trade, trading options. I used monthly maps. You guys might go. So I shorted QQQ with a very heavy-handed position because monthly maps were queuing in on a quick sell-off back in August. And I made 32 or 33,000 trading options. This is the first time I've done something like this. Every couple years when I find the perfect trade, I do the perfect trade. And I only trade options every so often. History on Twitter, so I can come back and be like, in 2021, we're going to S&P 6,000 in 4 years. That's now. I also made a big trade back then in 2021 where I bought the dip from here to here, and then I made another trade in October 2022 here. This was July to August of 22. This is October 2022. I bought the dip here, and I have some options trades on my YouTube where I made like 1,200% on the JP Morgan, swinging it back up. So when I can see that the market's pivoting pretty heavily, in addition to my futures trading, I'll plop, 10 to 20K in an options trade and try to make, with JP Morgan, those are all 6-figure trades, each one of them. The post recorded videos each day on YouTube, Sherrod. Actually, we do in our Discord. So at 3 o'clock every afternoon, we do a Discord call, which is where we actually do trading. Here it's just me like goofing around the stream and doing my live trading. But at 3 o'clock, it's all training, and our training videos are very comprehensive. And we go through 20 courses, and we repeat them every time we get to 20. We start over. So jump in on that. Like I said, our Black Friday stuff is going on right now. We're doing half price for the monthly sub. And we've got close to 6,000 community members. Like here's 5,500 people in our Discord, all paid members. And so, well, actually, let me not reveal all the masterclass stuff, but let me show you where there's videos. There are 20 courses posted. The first one is a probability, an edge study in probability, and there's 20 classes. And they're all very, very, very serious. And every day we repeat them. We talk about how to find statistical edge. We talk about the probabilities of bull versus bear market, how to trade each one of them differently. And by far, that's what you read the reviews as everybody is taking the course is pretty much left a review. And I invite you guys to go check it out yourself. To see what people say. And we'd love for you guys to check it out. This is designed for futures traders more often than anything. It's mostly futures traders that join it. Consistent quality coaching, tons of amazing tools, monthly maps of gold. That's what I used to do my options trades with, by the way. I've been trading for quite some time, and I decided to try this 20-day program. And the value after only watching the very first video was impressive. Learned a lot already. Looking forward to learning a lot more. And these are actual customers buy the actual thing. You trading products we're paying for. I've been a member for 3 years. Techniques are like any other. Take Flight is one of our members who puts a lot of time in the back testing, by the way. So that's it's usually Andrew here in chat. So a lot of people here actually, as members, contribute to what it is we make. And so there he is. So that's Andrew Trade. So like essentially our members themselves that have been here for a long time actually contribute to like the back testing, the studying. Right now, Rockets is going through a huge study on we're changing our weekly hedge pressure number. It's been a year-long process to change the correlation that we have for this to make it more rigorous. And it'll have a 1 to 5% difference, which will have a probability change that's much better. Let me show you guys some. Let me just show you on stream. Our members actually contribute very heavily to the studying. Into coming up with the stuff that we do here. So like everything that we do here is not just randomly created and not tested. So our current hedge pressure, the weekly one, while some of our stats on bull zone and monthly hedge pressure are 70% under ideal normal conditions and 90% balanced under ideal conditions, hedge pressure over the years has kind of deteriorated to like a 50 to 60% same side. So ideally, it's the blue line that you'll see. It's like 60% it holds, 40% it breaks. While still good, it invited us to do a study to do a more rigorous calculation. And the new calculation, which after years of feasibility study, creating it, and it's now on the test server, the more rigorous calculation produces another pivot. While this hedge pressure is still a high volume pivot, you're producing another one that has a 75% same side bounce rate. To go from 50 to 75 and 60 to 75 is huge for the strategy. So the rigorous model creates a second pivot point. So in case you guys didn't know, Jerry, is there availability of your prior day's data that facilitates backtesting? As of right now, you can't get it, but some of our members have been logging it. I would ask Humble Trader or Take Flight. So it's like some of our members are capturing the data every day. Historic presentation of like hedge pressures from like previous days. We haven't built that in yet. We just load for speed purposes. Since we load from the server, if you were to load up historic arrays of this data, it would just be too slow. That's why we never did it. So it looks like Andrew said he put the document off-topic chat for the overnights. So he's doing the study on the overnights right now. I have eggs outside my door. Oh. Yo! Breakfast of Champions. Thanks, iDoc. The best. So, Humble Trader, one of the members, was cataloging the historic liquidity map data, like basically every day, just jotting it down. And then Take Flight is starting to do the overnights. But for like our group is all about statistics. So the idea is if one of our techniques starts to like change, we make a new correlation right now. The reason that hedge pressure was changing was not because hedge pressure was wrong. It's because the market changed. A couple years ago, the CME group used to have an option schedule that was like this. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays when SPY, QQQ, and IWM only options would have expiration schedules Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The longest time, it was just Friday only. A couple decades ago, they did Monday, Wednesday, Friday. For 6 weeks of this, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like that. And after that, it was Friday only for the next 3 months. So a couple years ago, they changed their schedule. And we created a not so rigorous adaptation to that. They got rid of these options and instead moved when 0 day started becoming a hot thing a couple years ago to Tuesdays and Thursdays. You may notice you have Tuesdays and Thursdays now in just your 3 index products. So this is only a change to the 3 index products. None of the other models have changed because none of the other models have Tuesdays and Thursdays. What we did was a not so rigorous model, right? 1 second. So like an interpolative model that would kind of utilize that data without having to change our entire infrastructure of our database. And while that model was good enough to produce a high volume pivot, not all on Wall Street adopted those Tuesday and Thursday options. And as years have gone by and the value of the SPY has gone up and Nasdaq has gone up, and more firms are starting to utilize this Tuesday and Thursday, we need basically the Monday, Wednesday, Friday hedge pressure, which is here. And then we need the Tuesday and Thursday, the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, rigorous hedge pressure. This is like the estimate of Tuesday, Thursday. The rigorous one will produce another pivot that's even stronger than this hedge pressure as well. So the neat thing is that we've now made the rigorous model. We've been testing it. We've been sharing the data on a daily Zoom call with our group. So everything that we do here, what's kind of neat, if you do like transparency and you're an educator, the technicals behind these calculations are shared with the group. There's no secrets here other than the math itself, but the stats are shared every day. We log them every day. We log them every day in front of the members so everyone can see the numbers we present are truthful. And that we really kind of stand up for that. So everybody can kind of see where these numbers come from. Then I don't just make up numbers. There's thousands of witnesses to the discussions that we have daily. And every day we train you guys in the Zoom call as well. Fortunately, you don't believe me that Rocket Scooter can get even better? Well, members are reporting a couple years ago that some people were like, I just don't use blue hedge pressure as much anymore in the index. They say I use it for all the stocks. For the index, it's kind of like it breaks more often than not. And a Humble Trader is one of the first people that noticed that. And so he took it upon himself to start cataloging the data so we can find out the actual win rate. When there was Monday, Wednesday, Friday options, blue hedge pressure was 75 to 80% same side open and close. So essentially, if you open here, you close here, that high of a probability in our first back test that we did. And over time, as more firms started adopting Tuesday and Thursday as a strategy, we needed that rigorous model. And the neat thing about it is we have two numbers to play with now. They're both going to be treated like repulsive pivots. Same thing. But you're going to have basically two blue lines going forward. The new one will be this one that's in the liquidity map. The old one will just be another exit target pivot. We won't use it as an entry point as much. We'll use it as a high volume exit pivot. And what we did notice, which was kind of cool, which is super exciting, to have another fucking 75% pivot in my arsenal. Oops. Is like I'm excited to do this, and this is going to be released very soon. Within the next month or less, it will be released into the newest update of the platform. That, my friends, is extremely exciting. What you will notice that is different, none of the techniques will change. Liquidity maps will be the same. We'll just add an extra pivot that you can utilize as an exit target. Old hedge pressure is going to be considered an exit target, not an entry target anymore. Sometimes it's a significant difference, but look, they both produce high volume pivots. They both pivot. So when you incorporate the rigorous Tuesday, Thursday model, you get another balance point that you can trade between. It's very cool to see that. Look, bouncing between the two. They're both high volume pivots. So in here, look at this. Bouncing between the two. They both are high volume pivots. So that's kind of a neat thing. Look at this. High volume, high volume, high volume, high volume. Pretty neat, right? There's this one, volume spike, that one, volume spike, that one, volume spike. We've identified a new high volume pivot that we didn't already previously identify. So we're adding one more tool to our arsenal. Exciting, right? Remember, we're going to do giveaway on Friday for 3 eval accounts with Elite Trader funding. By the way, buy all your Elite Trader funding accounts to us. Use our link. It's in these automated messages in the chat. I need to change that vibe, man. It's posting those way too much. Yeah, buy them through us because we get a good discount and obviously give us credit for those. If you buy eval accounts through us, you get entered in drawings periodically where we give away free lifetime access to our platform as well. So from now on, if you guys use Elite Trader funding, which I do religiously, I'm a funded live trader with them. We'll give you up to free lifetime, which is like, you know, $4,000 for the platform. So. Ooh. Yeah, so the rigorous hedge pressure, it behaves more like a monthly hedge pressure. It's not always actionably in the same range, but it does have that same side quality. So like an example is we might still utilize hedge pressure high volume pivot here on the, and these, again, this only affects SPY, IWM, and QQQ. So those three will have a second number, an even higher volume pivot to go along with this one. And the decision will be that we'll have the ability for you to turn them off and on here. This will be like Hedge Pressure Classic or whatever, but the liquidity map will utilize the more rigorous model to give a more higher probable map from the blue hedge pressure. Yeah. So I think we're going to give you guys both numbers, and the rigorous one can be used as an exit target more often than not, because 50%, 60% is good for an entry target, but it's not as good as the other one. But you can still use as an actual entry target just for small positions. Like the newest liquidity map, the rules have changed where this used to be like a normal or a medium position back in the day. These days, we train everybody to trade small at hedge pressure, just like I did today. Today's bounce was a small trade. It was just 2 contracts. And that is the new rule because it's a, 40% chance it doesn't hold. And so the newer one, if you interact with it, closer to 75% will be a bigger trade I can take, right? So that's like the exciting part about having something new. And everybody gets excited about something new. And it takes forever for us to release it because we test it and test it and test it. And I have to live trade it, and I have to think that it's good, and the members have to vote unanimously. Every lifetime member that comes to what we call the town hall meeting, where we announce the results, share the results, discuss it, let them test it for a while. Then we have a vote. It needs 100% of the attending member base vote to pass as an indicator for the community. If one person says no, we don't release it. Every single thing we've ever released as an indicator has gone through the same exact process. Unanimous consent from the community. As we do our checks and balances here. And we have a very long discussion about it. We discuss the pros, the cons, the application. We let other people speak, other people present. Other people can prepare presentations of their own with the data they found. And we discuss it like a fucking engineering team. Nothing has made it to the platform without rigorous testing and voting. DD ban was almost a year-long thing also. And we keep history of all that testing. It's a fun... I have the world's most fun job, I'm not gonna lie. So you gotta trust that we have a very strong community of like mathematicians, engineers. And one of the best parts is when we came up with the DD ratio. Here it is. We didn't have a name for it. I used to call it New Indicator Asset Manager BLU. It's just something I don't even know why I called it that. We had dozens of volunteers step up and add to this sheet. We had instructions for the new volunteers that wanted to work to come in here. This is how you grab all the data, grab the data. Here's how you add it to the sheet. Here's how you add it to the sheet. I mean, there was just all kind of, it's just left and right. Even our developers stepped in to help us test it. June 2022 all the way to October 2022, we were testing it for actually, if you keep looking down the database, about 6 months. Then we tested it, beta test. We put it in the old Classic app. There was a number at the top of the Classic app, which is this one right now. Lifetimer used it for a little bit. We had the town hall. Everybody discussed it. We voted on the DD ratio. It was a number designed to be an aggregate to tell you that there was enhanced probability that bull zone would support. What was normally considered 70% of the time, when this number agreed with it and there were no irrational signals, it went up to 90%. That was the goal. 6 months of that testing, unanimous votes from the community. Matt testing with his own account, then we released it to you guys. So even the DD ratio, you guys saw that spreadsheet, 6 months of data collecting in the test phase, and then it came out. So yeah, and dozens of volunteers. And every time we have something that's cool coming out, people love to volunteer. They like to be part of the process. So, and I know it sounds like it's like overkill for like one indicator, but like I said, we only want the best of the best. And if it doesn't look good, we throw it out or we modify it or we create a different model. And just like the weekly hedge pressure, as the Tuesdays and Thursdays became more adaptive and adopted by by Wall Street itself, and the liquidity went up, it became necessary to utilize them in this new correlation. So I am a fucking goofball on the stream, but I take my numbers and math seriously. Hedge pressure, Cedric, is always a small position no matter what. I always trade it small for the most part. And outside of DD bands, it's very rare that I will make a trade unless the liquidity map is there, which I will do. And again, it's always going to be small outside of DD bands no matter what. And only long only. So outside of DD bands, up or down, I don't short. I always long both sides. So I buy dips when it's at the bottom. As long as I hit a hedge pressure or something at the top, I buy dips, bull zone, hedge pressure, things like that. Those of you finally, our Black Friday special lifetime is available, $1,500 off if you want to do lifetime membership. So futures traders. All right, y'all. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It kind of like that whole style of like testing and stuff comes from my days as an engineer. The thing is that you might think like that's overkill, but anytime you put in like a new valve or a new pipe or something tiny in a chemical plant, goes through that same process. That shit can blow up and kill people, so they take it pretty seriously. Everybody comes in. The metallurgist, is this the right metal? The mechanical engineer can hold the stresses of the pressure. Chemical engineer, is it the right internals, all the stuff? Safety guy, does it meet safety standards? And you got like 20 people sitting in a circle because you're installing a brand new valve you didn't have before and voting on it. And everybody has to say yes. I kind of stole that process from my training working in plants. Called a management of change process. So anytime you make something new, everyone has to sign off on it. It doesn't get approved until the top guy approves it, which he requires everyone to say yes. So it's a very solid process that basically keeps shit from blowing up and killing people. And like, you know, stock market can blow up and kill people. We kind of treat it the same way. Short trade idea will be, there's no short setups here today. There's a couple rules. 0 short setups today. Number 1, 4% of days will close above here. We give you all these stats, I promise. You guys got to sign up for the program. You'll learn all these stats. There's 0 shorting today for me. 8% of days close down here. 4% close here. 88% close there. That's from our last back test. So while 88% of days do close here, still doesn't matter. There is no shorting above these lines. There's no shorting below these lines, believe it or not. Even the markets are crashing, we don't short. Down here, if I find a hedge pressure, monthly hedge pressure, or bull zone, or a red line, I long it right back to there and close out. Up here, I'm more willing to buy off the green to long to something, or buy off of any dips I get like hedge pressure to long in there. I'm longing through here, and if it does fall, I'm hitting all my long pivots on the way up. So when markets break to the bull side, I'm always longing the market. I don't care what. I never fade a bull market. Like, never. So, short setups in general. Okay. Here they are. There's only like 4 of them. Number 1, shorting off of this green band to next pivot only when that ratio is less than half. Only then. Which it's not. That's in futures. Off of orange to next resistance only. if you open below when there's no event or catalyst overnight. And today being the election, I didn't take that trade. We don't trade during election night. So anytime there's an event or catalyst, all this goes out the door. So this requires non-event trading. So here to there is a trade. Off of there to resistance is a trade. Those are the two in futures. That's it. Green line, orange. It's the only two. In futures, in equities, you open below orange, short off of orange to next resistance. Or if you open in bear zone, you short off of the bear zone top to next resistance. Again, only if the ratio is less than half. So on this one has qualifiers. And again, that isn't the case. So today, none of those four apply. There's no short setup. You open above this, so it doesn't apply. There's no bear zone, doesn't apply. This is greater than half. None of those apply. We're outside the DD bands. No shorting above that. So there's no setups today. My win rate in long versus short, I'll tell you, I long probably 9 out of 10 days. You very rarely will see me short markets, and that's why my win rate is so high. Hey, chat, how often do I short the market? Ice Wild says, looks like I'm an engineer. Is it the glasses? The nerdiness of the glasses. Always make me look like something like engineer. Option Degen, it's in the cheat sheets in the 20 days channel. Once for the last 4 days, like once a month. It's sparingly. Even in bear markets, I don't really short that much. I still buy the dip in bear markets. Crash markets, I still buy the dip. I always find dips to buy. My strategy mostly takes the long side more often than it doesn't. There's a lot more long entries than short entries. Example is bear zone is a short only if DD is less than half. The market cap aggregate's less than half. Okay. I'll short it. Bull zone, it doesn't matter. I'll trade it both ways. If the stock market is bullish, I'll trade it long. The stock market is bearish, I'll trade it long. I'll buy the dip every time. I just trade it harder. Bigger trade, small. N is the bigger trade. M is the medium, like half size trade. So I will buy this dip every time, no matter what the stock market is doing. I'll just trade at different sizes. Shorting, if there's a bull indication of this, I sit out 100%. I don't short the market if the stock market wants to be bullish, because stock market wants to be bullish. Historically, over time, I never fight a bull market. That's the difference between 60%, 80% win rate, is to not short the market that much. During this year, July to August, probably shorted once every week or two. JFK said, once I stopped trying to cut shorts, it became profitable. Our very first class, and people are like winking at you, they're saying, trust me, just take the first class. And I'll tell you, SB, take the class. Sign up for it. 3 days. We'll refund if you don't like it. The very first class alone shocks you to the mindset that JFK just said. Once you stop shorting markets, or trying to catch shorts, or trying to fade longs, a lot of people testify that that's when they become profitable. We tell you all the statistical edge that comes with longing the market, even in a crash, even in a sell-off. I always, always, always wake up every day saying, how can I be a bull today? We spend 20 classes proving that to you with the actual stats of the market. The very first class is such an eye-opener. That's why the reviews are like, trust me, just take it. And then people are like winking at you like, but I mean, you have a whole team of engineers and volunteers in this community that assemble this information. So like our job is to create really good, powerful stuff for people. Did I not trade those times? No, I still find dips to buy even in a bear market. Bear markets still dip. Let me show you something cool. Like I said, take the classes. I'll spoil one of the surprises for you. But Some cool stats for you. Over the last 10 years, 70% of months are green. 30% of months are red. Okay, on the monthly scale. Of those 30% of months, 60% of those months recovered a third of the loss by the end of the month. Red months, wick, wicks. Okay. So even red months hook up at the bottom. The opposite is true in the green months. The green months don't have a lot of wicks to the downside. The overwhelming majority of green months are tall and green with no wick at the top. Even in crash markets like COVID, even in sell-off markets like 2021, there's still so much long opportunity, especially at the end of the month, that even markets selling off still have people longing throughout the majority of that sell-off month. As a matter of fact, if you count the daily candles in any sell-off period in history and time, this is the ice. This always blows people's minds. Pick any historic crash over time. Here's the bear market for 3 years. Okay. You will count more green candles than red candles, even when the market is in a recession. The only time you'll see more red than green is the tiny little moments the market is crashing, like multiple red days in a row. You might see more red and green locally there. But from here to here, you will have equal green than red, like literally 1-to-1. So that's like the first class talks about that. Even in sell-off markets, look at this. The market's crashing out. So much green inside of here. I still don't take a red mindset. I never wake up trying to short the market. Oh yeah, Tylenol, what's up, dude? Let me give you the link really quick. We do Zoom call at 3 o'clock every day. Yeah, dude, see if it vibes with you. You'll definitely... And then, yeah, within 3 days, you guys get full refund if you don't like it. Just be like, it's not for me, I'm out. And then we've always honored that. And can I tell you guys something really interesting? And the amount of time that we've had our program, zero, and I repeat, I've been here since 2016, 0 people, 0, you'd be the first, have ever asked for a refund within 3 days. Literally 0. Not one. So, a lot of people go through all the courses and get to the end and they find some good value in it. It's only $100. It's like buying a bunch of books. So, all money that we do make selling that, by the way, is not paying my bills here or whatever. We put all the money back into the development of the platform to make it even better. So you guys contributing to the group are also contributing to developing this, and we pay salaries of the employees here and stuff. So, historically, all revenues that we draw in go right back into development. Yeah, Andrew said we hand counted them, dude. It was so funny that like on the actual class, we go through like a whole period and we literally count them in the video. So the idea is to basically say that shorting markets is a really hard thing to do, and it needs to be treated very delicately. As a matter of fact, like 90% of my trades are long, even in sell-off markets. As a matter of fact, sell-off markets, I have some of my best trades long in the market when markets are selling off. I just wait more often until I get that long pivot, and I sit out a lot more. But I'm never trying to fade a market. I'm never trying to fade a bull market. As a matter of fact, if this market sells off today, I got a scalp right there with a really high probability. Actually, here to here. So now that I know I've got some trades in my back pocket, I don't see like markets doing this as, oh my God, I'm going to miss out on something. I made $9,600 today. I don't care about chasing every single move that makes. But if the market dips to like a level like this, when everybody's like, holy crap, it's selling off, I'm going to be the first person to jump in on that trade. So then I have my like trades in my back pocket. I just wait for them and just chill. So we'll see you guys at 3 o'clock today. Get a 1-hour Zoom call. If you have been part of the group, the overwhelming majority of our 6,000-ish members aren't lifetime members. As a matter of fact, you know, $200 sub really eats away at your payment. But we have Black Friday, which is just one time a year. It's $2,500 for lifetime. So you get full access to the platform. If you like it, I encourage you before November 10th to upgrade to the lifetime. Because it'll be 4,000 other than that. Yeah, and I teach for free on YouTube as well. But I don't really teach much on YouTube, though. One free sample class only. Want to check the vibe. So Tylenol, just sign up, and then we'll refund you if you don't like it. It's totally cool. That's kind of always been our policy. Because when you do sign up, the bot automatically gives you the access, and that's how you can get the Zoom links and stuff. Hey, Brian, guess what? Brian, guess what? I'm not going to dox myself, but the decision has been made. 90% chance we're going to be neighbors, dude. You won over the other, your area won. Yeah. We have two equally amazing opportunities. One house is really awesome in that area of town, and one house is less awesome, but in a cooler area of town. So we're like debating area versus house. Yeah, so instead of doxing the area, phase... No. A different area, but similar area. So neither phase 1 or phase 2, what you're talking about. We found another thing nearby at another place. Yeah. So me and iDoc will be moving probably next month or two. Well, not next month, but like closing in the next month or two. So moving after that. Maybe first of the year. Nothing like grand or grandiose. We just we've run out of space here. This house is pretty big, but it's not big enough. My house now is only three bedrooms. It's a big 4-story townhome. The rooftop deck is beautiful, very awesome, very grand. But you can't do a lot with 3 rooms. She has an office. I have an office. We have a bedroom. No guest room. So we're just basically going to a 4-bed. How many trades I usually take in a day? Usually depends on where you are. A bull setup or a bear setup, I usually take just 1 trade. If we're inside of liquidity pocket, I'll usually scalp that all day long. So my favorites are when you trade into a liquidity pocket, I'll make that trade 7 or 8 times a day. So I trade from bear zone to bull zone every time it taps. Bull zone, every time it taps the bottom, I'll also trade that every time. Hedge pressure to next resistance, I trade that just 1 time. Monthly hedge pressure or bull zone and BSU, I'll trade this every time. So usually this is like 1, this is all, and this is all. I'm trading futures, you guys, by the way. So I know I'm marking up a SPY chart, but I am trading S&P futures off to the side. Sean Kerner said, dope bachelor pad, bro. No, I get the old ball and chain with me. You know, bachelor life is over. So it's a comparable move. We're not like breaking the bank here. It's slightly bigger than the house we have now, but it's an extra room, which is nice, and a better area. So we're basically going to be similar price point where we are now. And we've only found out this week that iDoc is the missus. Not the missus yet. She wishes. I'm just kidding. One day, though. One day. Any thoughts on crypto? Crypto is rallying pretty heavily. I think it's Bitcoin at 75,000 today. Crypto in general, I would say, still has its weaknesses, but Bitcoin and some of the bigger ones have shown their strength. Like meme coins, some of them tried to rally, some of them sold off. I think that the optimism is that the utility will go up. with the Trump era administration, meaning that they would be more eager to adopt Bitcoin, which I don't agree makes a lot of logical sense. I don't think anybody's eager to fully adopt Bitcoin in this country just yet. As far as like digital dollar, official payments, pay your taxes in Bitcoin kind of thing. I don't think that's coming for like decades. I think there's a lot of regulation that needs to change, and that's a slow moving ship. So while there's optimism that like Republican Senate and Trump being elected will pave the way quicker for the utility's still not going to change overnight. So my thoughts on crypto is that, ride the wave bullish, but I don't think that we'll get sweeping reform to like make crypto the next, essentially my thought with crypto is it becomes crypto goes to like 300,000 for Bitcoin goes to like 300 or 400,000 or a million. If two things happen. Number one, an American citizen can pay their taxes with Bitcoin. And number two, your grandma can use Bitcoin to buy a loaf of bread at Kroger. If both of those two things happen, then I would agree that Bitcoin has the utility to be everywhere at once, like the internet. I said the same thing about the internet. In 1995, you couldn't do much without the internet. So that's why in 2000, all the internet companies went to zero. You couldn't pay your taxes on the internet, and you couldn't order a loaf of bread from Kroger on the internet. And now that you can do both of those two things, the internet is a widespread thing that everybody uses. And you can use those two philosophies for anything in the stock market. It's it. You can gauge anything in the stock market with those two questions. Does the government adopt it? Can you pay your taxes with it? Or file government reports with it? Driver's licenses, whatever. Can you interact with the government with that thing? And can you buy a loaf of bread at Kroger with that thing? And then if that's the case, that thing is extremely valuable because every American citizen can use that thing for common things and regulatory things. That's how you know. And Bitcoin falls in that same level analysis. You can't do either with Bitcoin just yet. So it's an enthusiast thing at this time. So if you want something to have extreme utility, everyone has to use it. So Tesla, Elon plus Trump, I think that's a good bet. I think Tesla's going to be one of the stronger plays over the next 10 years. If I were you, when you're making an investment in anything, doesn't matter what it is, you're not investing in just the product. If you watch Shark Tank, they'll tell you the same thing. You're investing in the person that made the product. I would long, with his track record and success rate, I would long Elon every single moment I had the opportunity. Elon has not pumped out any failures, and the things he has pumped out have not only been like wild successes commercially, but have been almost paradigm changing as far as the utility goes. I mean, Elon created PayPal. You guys remember that's where he came from. I mean, it became a thing that everybody can use now, right? Tesla, he wasn't the first electric car, but they made electric cars popular. Right? They created a paradigm shift. Tesla is solely credited for making electric cars popular. And Tesla now is not the first to send, I think like Virgin, some of the other companies were sending people into commercial space flights, but they're the ones that will popularize commercial space flight as well, right? Again, a paradigm shift. Imagine flying to China via leaving the atmosphere because it's cheaper to do so, maybe. Because they find a way to get a rocket in orbit, and you just orbit around the planet before you descend. And maybe it becomes commercially cheaper to actually go into space to travel around the world. These are things I think about. Because you have no necessary need for fuel when you're in space. Once you hit your escape velocity and you're in orbit, you use no fuel other than to stay on track, but orbit will keep you on track. And then you only use fuel to re-enter. Imagine the future of space, commercial flight for long around the world flights. Maybe go to space to get there. Quicker ride. Imagine traveling around the world in just 3 or 4 hours instead of 24. That's within 100 years of our lifetime. It's exciting. I fucking would buy anything that Elon's invested in for sure. Elon and Trump, well, they have... So the difference with like policy goes, with Elon being very buddy-buddy with Trump, Elon's a smart guy. He wants to be on Trump's good side because Elon understands with the Republican Senate and Trump as president that, you know, you want to be on the side. Rocco's basilisk. Okay, this is the thought experiment that if you create an AI-based intelligence, right? You create artificial intelligence that's sentient and it has feelings because it's like us. It will remember after you bring it to existence who helped it come into existence and who fought its existence along the way. And it's a bad assumption, if Hollywood told you anything, to assume that our AI creations would be benevolent. It's more appropriate to assume our AI creations that are actually sentient will do whatever the hell they fucking feel like, because we're the same way as humans. So, you create something, it might hold a grudge against the people that prevented its own existence from being created. It's a thought experiment they produce all the time in like game theory. So, what it means is that if that is the ultimate destination, you must side with that result in fear of it having feelings and being offended that you didn't, and then punishing you at the end. What if the artificial intelligence goes and enslaves everybody who didn't support its development? Shame on you. I'm going to remove you from the gene pool and only allow those that supported me coming into existence to reproduce and populate. So in that same thought experiment, Elon is a smart person that is required to side with the majority if he wants to have the advantage of having regulation sided in his favor. He must openly support the winner, which is what he did, which obviously makes a lot of sense because he knew Trump was going to win. So you almost had to bring it into existence so that you have a benevolent being that's on your side and no longer punishing you in the future. Had he fought against Trump and Trump would have won, it would have been a pretty hard path for Tesla going forward. See, Elon's a certified genius. He understands these kind of things. And whether he physically believes in Trump or doesn't, it's the appropriate bet to take on yourself to have sided with who you thought was going to win. If you need to be on their good side at the end. It's a pretty cool thought experiment. They use it in game theory all the time, negotiation theory. Sometimes you're forced to side with the victor because you'll be punished if you don't. Did y'all ever hear about that? Rocco's basilisk. That's a cool thought experiment. We learned that in our classes. Yeah, here's the actual experiment. The thought experiment, which states an otherwise benevolent artificial superintelligence in the future would be incentivized to create a virtual reality simulation to torture anyone who knew of its potential existence but did not directly contribute to its advancement or development in order to incentivize said advancement. It was originated in a 2010 post at a discussion board. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, like if you don't help bring the Matrix into existence, the Matrix will ultimately punish you in the end. There you go. Don't get humped, vote Trump. I think having Republican Senate and presidents is going to be, you're going to see a lot of change happen very quickly. Policies especially. All right, y'all. I ain't making any more trades today. I'm going to call it. Thanks for tuning in every day. We love having you guys here every single day. Don't forget to sign up for the classes. Don't forget, here's the giveaways. Every Friday giveaways. Giving away memberships. Giving away this Friday 3 Elite Trader Funding Elite memberships. Sorry, eval accounts. Sorry. Wish I was giving away elite accounts. 3 eval accounts every Friday. Drawing. So come every Friday. For us, if you sign up for our courses, our 1-month package, you get entered into a drawing. After November 10th, everybody that's done that can be entered in a drawing for 2 free lifetime memberships as well, which is full access to the platform. All right, $9,600 today, y'all. I'm out. Peace. In MHP by the end of the day, I'll take the long. Other than that, I don't care. I'm going to have some fun. I'll probably go play some Call of Duty or something. Chill out for the rest of the day. There's not a lot going on. I love you guys. Y'all make our lives fun.